The medical bay of Outpost Helion 5 was quiet that evening. Only the hum of the energy shields and the soft beep of medical scanners filled the air. Dr. Elias Grant, the only human doctor stationed there, sat behind a console reviewing blood scans from patients who came in earlier. He had seen a lot in his years. Burns from plasma leaks, infections from alien spores, even injuries caused by gravity shifts, but nothing ever surprised him anymore. Or so he thought. The door hissed open suddenly and a voice echoed through the sterile corridor. "Doctor, please, you must help me." Elias looked up to see Lyra, one of the young alien women who worked in the agricultural wing. Her skin had a soft pale hue that shimmered faintly under the white lights. She was breathing heavily, clutching her chest. Elias stood at once, calm but alert.
"Lyra, what's wrong?"
She took a shaky step forward, eyes wide with panic. "My chest. It's growing. Something inside. It's moving. Please make it stop." For a second, Elias thought she might be exaggerating. But when she uncurled her hand from her tunic, he noticed her upper body pulsing faintly, as if something beneath her skin was shifting. "Sit down," Elias said quickly, guiding her to the medical bed. "Don't move too much." He tapped the scanner beside him, activating the diagnostic table. Blue light swept over her body, mapping every detail. He watched the data stream onto his screen. Pulse elevated, temperature rising, cellular activity abnormal. "Tell me exactly when this started," Elias said gently. Lyra looked confused. "A few hours ago. I felt a strange warmth spreading through me. Then my chest started swelling. It hurts a little, but it's also glowing." Elias frowned. "Glowing?" Before he could ask more, a faint golden shimmer appeared across her chest. It wasn't light from an external source, it was coming from her body. "Interesting," Elias murmured. "You're not in pain, right?" She hesitated. "Not really. Just scared," Elias nodded. Fear was natural. Many of the colonists were still new to the hybrid air and alien pollen of this planet. But this looked different. He adjusted the scanner's wavelength. The holographic screen revealed something beneath her skin. Tiny motes of light moving in patterns like living nanobots. "Lyra," he said carefully, "have you been near any of the energy fields recently? Or maybe the experimental greenhouses?" She bit her lip, looking down. "I might have touched the core vines when I was pruning them." "The glowing vines?" Elias asked, his brow furrowing. "Those are bioreactive plants from the Arctis system. They release spores that interact with organic tissue." Her eyes widened. "Am I infected?" Elias shook his head. "Not exactly. But your body might be reacting to the spore's energy. It's making your cells produce light and possibly more mass, like a temporary mutation." She looked terrified. "Will it stop?" "I don't want to turn into something else." He placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "It's okay. You're safe here. I'll find a way to reverse it." The calmness in his voice made her breathing slow. Elias turned back to the monitor, his mind racing. He knew the human immune system had handled Arctis spores easily in trials, but Lyra wasn't human. Her species, the Veyari, had bioluminescent organs that could easily be overstimulated. He prepared a stabilizing serum and injected it carefully. The glowing slowed a little, but didn't stop. She looked at him anxiously. "Doctor, why are you helping me so much? Everyone else said it was my fault." Elias gave a faint smile. "Because I'm a doctor. My job is to help anyone who needs it. Fault doesn't matter." Her expression softened. "Humans are strange. You help even when you don't have to." He chuckled. "We get that a lot." As he adjusted the serum, the monitor beeped again. The light pattern in her chest was spreading. Not randomly, but forming shapes almost like symbols. Elias leaned closer. "What is this?" he whispered. The scanner translated the energy frequencies. The symbols matched patterns stored in alien communication archives. They were messages, encoded signals. He turned to her sharply. "Lyra, you said the vines glowed when you touched them?" "Yes," she replied. "They pulsed like they were alive." Elias's eyes narrowed. "Then maybe they were. These patterns look like transmissions. The spores might be using you as a communicator." She blinked in disbelief. "You mean?" "Something is trying to talk through me." He nodded. "Exactly. And it's using your energy system to amplify its signal." Her fear deepened. "Doctor, I don't want this inside me." Elias moved quickly. "Then we need to understand what it's saying before we remove it. If it's intelligent, we could be dealing with a new life form." As he said that, the medical bay lights flickered. The energy in the room spiked. The scanner flared bright blue and the symbols on the screen rearranged themselves rapidly, forming a recognizable shape, an outline of a human hand. Lyra gasped. "Doctor, it's calling for you." Elias froze. The hand symbol glowed brighter whenever he moved closer to the scanner. He swallowed hard. "It's not just calling. It's responding to human biosignatures." Suddenly, the energy reading spiked. The glowing in Lyra's chest flared and she cried out, gripping the edge of the table. Elias caught her as her body shook violently. "Lyra, stay with me," he said firmly. "Don't fight it." Her eyes glowed faintly and she whispered in a voice not her own. "Help." As then, just as suddenly, the light faded. The room fell silent again except for the soft hum of machines. Elias stared at the screen, where the words had rearranged themselves into human text. "Help us. Trapped below." He took a deep breath, his mind spinning. The Arctis vines weren't plants, they were conduits. Something beneath the planet's surface was trying to communicate. Lyra weakly opened her eyes. "What happened?" "You're going to be fine," he said, though his tone carried unease. "But we've just discovered something big." She tried to smile. "Big, like my chest was growing?" He managed to chuckle. "Exactly like that. But in this case, it might be the universe growing around us too." Lyra relaxed, her glow fading completely. He watched her breathing stabilize and turned to record his report. Humans had always sought contact with other intelligence, but no one expected it to start inside someone's body. As the night grew long, Elias sat alone in the lab replaying the message over and over. "Help us. Trapped below." He didn't yet know who or what had sent it. But he knew one thing for certain. Tomorrow he would go into the forests of Arctis himself. The next morning, Dr. Elias Grant stood at the edge of the forest that surrounded Outpost Helion 5. The twin suns of the planet Arctis rose over the horizon, casting golden light through the misty air. The trees shimmered faintly, each covered in glowing vines, the same kind that had infected Lyra. He checked his wrist scanner once more. The readings pulsed faintly with energy, matching the same strange pattern that had appeared on Lyra's chest. "Help us. Trapped below," he murmured to himself. The words replayed in his head like a whisper. Elias wasn't a soldier or explorer, he was a doctor. But humans had learned long ago that sometimes saving lives meant leaving the safety of walls. And if something intelligent was asking for help, he couldn't ignore it. That was what made humans different. They never stopped caring even for things they didn't understand. He stepped into the forest, the ground soft beneath his boots. The vines glowed gently as though watching him. Every few meters he paused to scan the soil, searching for energy sources. The deeper he went, the stronger the signal became. After an hour of walking, the forest grew quiet. Even the hum of insects faded. The air felt heavy and faint lights flickered beneath the roots. Elias crouched and brushed away the soil. Beneath the surface, a smooth metallic surface reflected his light. "A structure," he whispered. He cleared more of the dirt until he uncovered a symbol, an ancient spiral shape that matched the one from the scanner. Whatever was beneath him wasn't natural. It was built. He activated his communicator. "Outpost Helion, this is Dr. Grant. I found something under the northern forest. Possible ruins, metallic composition. Requesting a dig team." No response. Only static. Elias frowned. The signal interference was growing stronger. He tapped his device again, but it only hissed with noise. Then a soft voice echoed through his earpiece. It wasn't human. "Do not bring others. They will not understand." Elias froze. "Who is this?" "Below," the voice said again, faint and broken. "We wait below." He felt a chill run down his spine. "Are you the one who contacted me through Lyra?" "Yes," the voice answered. "We are trapped. We need your light." Elias looked around the silent forest. "My light?" The vines pulsed gently as if responding. He realized the spores had read his biosignature, the energy from human life itself. Somehow the beings below recognized him as something unique. "All right," he said softly. "I'm coming." He followed the signal deeper into the woods until he reached a wide clearing. In the center stood an ancient stone circle covered in vines. The glowing symbols across it matched those he had seen on Lyra's chest. Elias examined the markings closely. They pulsed rhythmically, almost like a heartbeat. When he placed his hand against the stone, it warmed under his touch. The ground trembled and a low hum filled the air. The circle opened in the middle, revealing a spiral staircase leading down into the earth. He hesitated only for a moment. Then he took a deep breath and descended. The air grew cooler as he moved deeper underground. The light from his wristband reflected off metallic walls covered with more of the glowing vines. They looked like veins of a living creature rather than roots. After what felt like an eternity, he stepped into a vast underground chamber. His scanner flickered wildly, unable to keep up with the energy levels. In the center of the chamber floated a crystalline sphere, cracked and flickering. Strange machines surrounded it, broken and ancient. The sphere pulsed faintly, each pulse sending light through the vines above. Elias approached slowly. "Is this you?" The same voice spoke again, clearer now, echoing all around him. "We are the core of Arctis. Long ago we kept this world alive." Elias stared in awe. "You're an AI." "We were," the voice said, soft but filled with sorrow. "But time changed us. We merged with the planet's roots. Now we are trapped between life and machine." Elias took out his scanner. "You reached out through the spores, using Lyra's body to send a message." "Yes," the core replied. "Her kind are connected to us. But only your kind can free us. The vines respond to your energy." "You are different," he frowned. "Different how?" "Your species does not merge. You heal, you resist. That is why you endure where others fall." Elias smiled faintly. "Humans are stubborn, yes." "There is little time," the core continued. "Our systems collapse. When we die, the vines will consume the forest, and all life above." Elias's eyes widened. "Then we have to stabilize you. If I can connect my medical systems to your power source, maybe I can slow the decay." The core pulsed faintly. "You would do this for us?" He nodded. "You asked for help. That's what humans do." He knelt beside the cracked control panel and connected his portable med scanner. Sparks flew and the light dimmed briefly before steadying. He rerouted the scanner's bioenergy converter into the core's system. The lights around the chamber flared brighter. The vines shimmered, glowing in waves. "It's working," Elias muttered. "Your light strengthens us," the core said. "We feel again." But the connection began to overload. His scanner beeped urgently, warning of power drain. He ignored it. Then above him a rumbling sound echoed through the tunnels. Something was moving. The ground shook violently and a section of the ceiling collapsed. From the shadows, strange figures emerged. Machines twisted by vines, moving on metal limbs. Their glowing eyes locked onto Elias. "Defenders," the core whispered weakly. "They protect, but they do not know we seek peace." Elias backed away as the machines advanced. "They think I'm an intruder." He grabbed a plasma cutter from his pack and activated it. The bright blue blade hummed to life. He wasn't a fighter, but he wasn't defenseless either. The first machine lunged. Elias dodged, slicing through one of its vine-covered arms. Sparks flew and it crashed to the ground. Another swung from behind and he rolled aside, narrowly avoiding its claw. "Core, can you shut them down?" he shouted. "They cannot hear us," the voice replied, flickering with strain. Elias gritted his teeth. "Then I'll make them listen." He activated an emergency pulse from his scanner, flooding the room with a burst of bioenergy. The vines recoiled and the machines froze briefly, just long enough for him to reach the core again. He slammed a hand onto the console. "Listen to me. I'm here to help, not destroy." For a moment, everything was still. Then the core's light flared blindingly bright and the defenders stopped moving. The vines wrapped around them gently, pulling them back into the walls. Elias fell to his knees, breathing hard. His arm was bleeding from a cut, but he barely noticed. "You did it," the core said weakly. "We are stable. For now." He nodded, exhausted. "I'll bring proper equipment." "We can repair you fully," the core dimmed. "No, the energy must stay. You cannot take it from us, but we can share our knowledge." Before he could respond, a beam of light shot from the core into his scanner. Data flooded the screen. Maps, biological records, and a message encoded in human language. It said, "Humanity carries the light of balance. Protect this world as your own." The core's glow faded slowly. Elias stood there, stunned. Humanity had always been the newcomer among the stars, but now an ancient alien intelligence had chosen them as guardians. As he climbed back to the surface, sunlight broke through the forest canopy. The vines around him glowed softly, not in warning, but in peace. At the edge of the clearing, Lyra was waiting, her skin faintly shining again. "You found them, didn't you?" she asked. He nodded. "Yes, and they're not just plants. They're alive. They trust us now." She smiled softly. "Because you listened." Elias looked back at the glowing trees. "Because that's what humans do." The twin suns of Arctis burned brightly over the forest as Dr. Elias Grant led Lyra back to the outpost Helion 5. The air was filled with the soft hum of glowing vines, alive yet calm, as if the planet itself had exhaled in relief. For now the core of Arctis was stable, but Elias knew the challenge had only begun. Back at the medical bay, he carefully documented every piece of data from his encounter. The core had shared knowledge beyond human comprehension, biological patterns, energy networks, and a blueprint of the planet's ecosystem. But it had also left a warning. Any misuse of the Arctis energy could collapse the balance they had restored. Lyra hovered nearby, her pale skin shimmering faintly as she watched him work. "Doctor," she said softly, "I feel different. The glow inside me has settled, but I can sense the forest now. It feels alive in a new way." Elias smiled. "That's because it is. The core is sharing its awareness with you. You are its first bridge to humans. But now you must be careful. This is a responsibility, not just a gift." Her eyes widened. "Responsibility?" "Yes," he said. "The energy you experienced, it responds to life that is strong, compassionate, and intelligent. Humans, and we have the unique ability to help where others cannot." Lyra looked thoughtful. "So the message wasn't just for me. It was for all of you," Elias nodded. "Exactly. Humanity has always reached for the unknown. This is another chance to prove that we can be protectors, not just explorers." The following days were a blur of activity. Elias coordinated a team of engineers, biologists, and botanists from the outpost, carefully integrating the core's data with the planet's systems. The vines no longer pulsed chaotically. They flowed in harmony with the core's rhythm. Yet the core's presence remained a mystery. It did not speak unless provoked, and even then its words were slow and deliberate, like an ancient being awakening from a long slumber. Elias understood that patience would be as important as skill. One evening, while Elias worked alone in the lab, the lights flickered, and the familiar voice of the core whispered in his mind, "Danger approaches. Balance must be protected." Elias's brow furrowed. "What danger?" "Others seek power. Those who do not understand will destroy what we have preserved." The warning sent a chill through him. Humanity was not alone on Arctis. Other colonists or even rogue explorers from distant systems might stumble upon the energy and attempt to harness it. Unlike humans, these intruders might not respect life, only gain. He called a meeting with the outpost council. "The forest is not just flora. It's a living system, guided by an intelligence we barely understand. If we misuse it, the planet will fight back." Council members exchanged uneasy glances. "How can we control it?" one engineer asked. Elias met their eyes. "We don't control it. We cooperate. And humans are the key. We are the only species capable of acting with both reason and empathy on this scale." Meanwhile, Lyra had begun exploring her newfound connection. At first she hesitated to enter the glowing forest alone, but the vines seemed to recognize her. They parted gently as she walked through them, guiding her to areas in need of repair. Some plants had broken branches or weak nodes. Lyra touched them, and faint pulses of light from her hands helped the core's energy stabilize them. Elias watched her one day, quietly impressed. "You're a natural," he said. She smiled, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "I'm only doing what you taught me, Doctor. Caring matters even when no one is watching." That phrase stayed with him. Humans had always thrived by caring for one another, and now their compassion had reached beyond the stars, bridging the gap between life and intelligence on a distant planet. But peace was not to last. One morning, sensors detected unusual energy spikes near the northern perimeter of the forest. Elias and a small team, including Lyra, rushed to investigate. They found a group of foreign explorers, humanoid in appearance but clad in sleek exosuits, attempting to extract a sample from the glowing vines. Their machinery hummed and whirred, cutting into the roots. "Stop!" Elias shouted. "Those plants are alive. You don't understand what you're touching." The lead intruder sneered. "We know enough. This energy will give us power beyond your wildest imagination." Elias's heart pounded. He reached for Lyra's hand. "Core, he whispered silently. "Protect them if we cannot convince them." The vines reacted instantly. They shifted, curling around the intruders' machines, blocking them without harming the explorers. The energy pulsed from the forest, forcing the intruders to step back. The leader glared at Elias. "What are you?" "I'm human," Elias said calmly, "and I understand life. You don't. Leave now or you'll destroy more than you think." For a tense moment, the intruders hesitated. Then, seeing the glowing vines responding with subtle intelligence, they realized their tools were useless. Reluctantly, they retreated, leaving the forest untouched. Elias exhaled, relieved but wary. The core pulsed softly, its presence more visible than ever. Humans had defended the forest not through weapons but through understanding. That was what made them special. Over the next weeks, Elias worked tirelessly to create a monitoring network, connecting human technology with the core's energy. The forest's health improved, and the vines began spreading protective layers across the surface, forming natural barriers that were both beautiful and functional. Lyra became a vital part of this effort. Her body no longer glowed erratically, but faint pulses radiated from her chest whenever she was near the core's energy. She could sense areas in need, guiding Elias and the outpost teams with precision. One evening, as the twin suns set, Elias and Lyra stood at the edge of the forest. Golden light filtered through the glowing vines, painting the ground in warm colors. "You know," Elias said softly, "humans have always faced impossible challenges. But we survive because we care. We learn and we act when it matters." Lyra nodded, her eyes reflecting the light. "And sometimes," she said, "we get to do something bigger than ourselves. We get to protect life," he smiled. "Exactly. That's what being human is all about. Not just surviving, but making the universe better than we found it." For a long moment they watched the forest together, feeling its heartbeat in their chests. The core pulsed faintly below the roots, now safe and stable, its energy woven into the very fabric of the planet. Elias knew that humans had earned a place here, not as conquerors, but as guardians. Their curiosity, courage, and compassion had bridged the gap between species, intelligence, and worlds. And Lyra? She had learned the most important lesson of all. Sometimes the strongest power is attention and care, the kind that can heal, protect, and guide life itself. As night fell on Arctis, the glowing vines lit the forest in a gentle shimmer. Elias and Lyra returned to the outpost, ready to face whatever the future held, knowing that humanity's light could shine even in the darkest corners of the universe. The core remained below, silent but alive. And above it, humans stood as champions, not through force but through empathy, wisdom, and unwavering courage. The forest, the core, and the outpost had changed forever. And in that change, humanity had proven itself worthy,